जय हिंद एवरीवन, आप सभी का स्वागत है पेट्रोटिक आईएएस में. दिस इज पेट्रोटिक आईएएस गोरखपुर and this is situated in Padaleganj Road in front of Rajbansi Hospital. This session is for current affair discussion and this is totally based on the comprehensive coverage of the Hindu and Indian Express, and mainly we want to bring all the current affairs topic of previous days and 2 days in our discussion so that we can cover the syllabus of UPSC and state PCS, UPPCS in a very comprehensive manner so that we can address the demand and the syllabus of prelims, mains and interview. If you will go through the toppers talk and the toppers interview, recently the result has declared and we are witnessing many of the interview of the toppers. You will find that most of the toppers, they refer current affairs in a comprehensive manner. So the session is to bring all this perspective and it is aiming to save the students time so that they don't have to waste a lot of time in the newspaper. They can directly get the things that are relevant for UPSC and UPPCS. So let's start the first topic that we are going to cover, that is from the GS paper 1. First topic that is talking about the what beauty peasants tell us about the power and priorities. So here this discussion is on the relevance of the beauty peasants. We now it is in the news because this year Miss World contest that is about to be held in Hyderabad. Miss World 72nd, and this will be between 6th, 7th May to 31st May. So there has been the protest that this peasants promote the capitalist mindset, capitalist ideology and patriarchal ideology. Here you will see that the government of Telangana has given the slogan that Telangana Jarurana, come to Telangana definitely, and this is being promoted by the Telangana government. So here the main opposition is that what type of the ideology, this type of the peasants that promote, and there has been continuous protest not only this year, but whenever this is held in India. For example, in 1996 it was in the Bangalore, now it is Bangalore, at that time it was Bangalore, and 2024, last year it was in the Mumbai. So here you will see that this platform is on the name of the female empowerment and the global recognition of the female. That is the cover, that is the main promotional line. But what is the reality that is being discussed? Here you will see that the feminists criticize this as the alliance between the capitalism and patriarchy. What is the capitalism? Means you want to sell your produce and only aiming to commodify the women's body, that this is the beauty for the being for seen as the beautiful. You have to use different beauty product, you have to use your saloon, parlor, all these things. So this is the capitalist mode of thinking, capitalist promotion. And here you will see that the patriarchal see the women's in the beauty only. And what type of beauty? Like the height of the women, the color of the women, such type of the thing. And disproportionately, the patriarchal system tried to sideline the women from the decision making and just treat the women as a commodities again, as the just subservient to the male community. Okay, so here this is being discussed. So the opposition has led some change into the pigeons different form. Previously there was the swimsuit round. Now it has been replaced with the question and answer. Means previously it was in the swimsuit and the women have to present their bodies. When there was the opposition, it was changed and now it is being held as the question answer. They are asking different type of the question and answer so that they can check the knowledge of the contestant. Here you will see that this judge women based on the appearance remain the troubling. For example, still there is the one of the a part of it is the beauty and purpose, beauty with the purpose. So again, this is based on the appearance and this is not rectified. That has been here question. You will see that the global peasants has some of the genuine genuine they provide some platform for the women. For example, here you will see that this provide the platform so that there could be the validation of the women's. It provide the exposure to the women so that they can get new opportunity and opportunities in media, public life, and the social cause. So here this global presence have some significance as well, and this provide the validation and exposure to the women. Otherwise, the women are remain confined to the four walls of the houses. But this type of the global presence have some positive impact here. The example has been given. For example, Aishwarya Rai, she became famous and got the opportunity only through this Miss World pageants when she won this contest. Priyanka Chopra as well as the previous contestant and the winner Manusi Chiller. So here you will see that they got the launch pad for this Miss World pageants contestation. So all this thing has been mentioned here. Beside that, but the main aim is still this, whatever they talk about, that they provide the platform, they provide the some of the opportunity, but the reality is that the women have against, they have to confirm the social norm. This is not to provide the confidence. Here the conformity is provided, that what women are expected to do for the society, how the expectation is there from the women's side, and this is the mainly the bodily beauty that is being always given the priority. Here you will see that the why prioritize the beauty pageants over the forum of the women's health, innovation, and rural development? So this is the question, that when you are talking about the women's issue, there are a lot of the issues that you can project on the different platform. Like here it is being discussed that the women's health, that is ignored area, innovation in the women's need and whatever the women's want, and also the rural development. In the rural area, the women's is in the pathetic condition. All this can be redressed only by this. If you want to address the women issue, you should raise this type of the thing, then it could be much impactful and much reforming and much empowering to the women. So here it has been discussed. Here you will see that the allocation of resources to enhance the global visibility of these pigeons and this type of the contestation, that is always to reflect the patriarchal mindset, that yes, we will promote this so that the people could have the interest, and a lot of money is invested in such type of the pigeons. So the writer is talking about why not you are investing all this thing in the women's health. The most important issue that women are suffering, that the women health, because they are suffering from the anemia. There are so many type of the cancer, for example cervical cancer, women are suffering. Beside that, the malnutrition, this also impact not the women, just that woman, but also the children that are the future of any society, any country. So if you are investing on the women health, this is not only impacted that particular women, but this is going to impact the children and the future of the society as well. All that has been given here. The issue is not with the participant or their ambition. This is good. If the women's, those girls, those who want to participate in this type of the contestation, so they have the right to go for the new type of opportunity. But the thing is that the framework that defines and reward this ambition, this is the main thing. Beside that, you will see that the true empowerment is not about the walking on the ramp or with the confidence, but walking safely in one's own neighbors. You are not able to provide the safety of the women's, and you are talking about you are providing the opportunity. What will be the better opportunity to provide the women's the safety whenever they walk? If they are going for the join their job or they are going for their employment, they are not safe outside their house, even not inside their house. Many of the rape cases or the sexual harassment that take place within the house and from the relative very known portion of the women as well. So here there are a lot of issues that can be addressed instead of such type of the beauty pageant. So there are the two view. You should bring the all the view. That one view we discuss that it's this type of the beauty pageants that provide the platform, that provide the exposure to the media, social platform, and different types of the new opportunity. Example has been given of the Aishwarya Rai, Manusi Chillar, and the previous other contestant and the winner like the Priyanka Chopra, all this has been given here. So please remember all these things. There are the two sides. One side is that yes, it is providing the opportunity, but it is not addressing the real issue of the women. So where you can use all this type of the points, you can use in the your society section, GS paper 1. You can also use such type of the point in your essay writing. That could be very effective, that yes, beauty pageant, that is the walking on the ramp is the real addressal or the empowerment of women, or talking about the safety of women and providing the opportunity in a real sense and a long-term sense, that is much impactful. So these are the things has been discussed here. In the last, it is talking about the opportunity to examine our collective values, who gets to represent the country, what project toward, and how we define the empowerment. There is need to be a discuss on this topic. And beside that, the defending a broader vision where women are valued for who they are and what they do, not for how they look. So this should be the main aim, that what we are doing as a woman, how we are taking our decision, how we are participating in different real issue of the society, that should be the main goal of the any program or any such type of the contestant. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next news that has been covered into the Hindu editorial, and here it is discussing that the transseptic arguments are incoherent. So mainly this is discussing that the recently there was the decision in UK, and the decision was that we will not include the trans women into the Equality Act. So there will be the only two type of the definition. One will define the women and other will define the man or the male or the female. So there is the new type of the gender recognition. Recently we saw that the trans women who born as a man, but they feel that they have the women's trait and they transform into the trans women. So they are known as the trans women. So there has been the opposition. We have seen such type of opposition in US as well. Trump have recognized only the male and female in their different program and a different type of the policies of the US. Here you will see that this is being done in the UK as well, and Supreme Court ruled that under the Equality Act, only trans women will not be treated as women. They will have the separate category. So there has been a discussion that will not it violate their own act of the Gender Recognition Act of 2004, because they provide that the whoever have their own gender identity, that will be recognized, and the trans women, if they feel that they are women despite born as a man, they will be considered under the Equality Act. So there has been the discussion, and this has been across the globe. This is one of the issue that has been raised by the right wing and the rise of the right wing ideology into the West as well. In Europe, we have seen that there has been such type of the despise, or there has been such type of the ignorance towards the right of the different gender people or the third gender, such as the transgender or the LGBTs, and all that has been impacted by such type of the rise of the ideology. Here it has been giving example of the US. Here you will see that the senior member of the UK oldest South Asian and the black feminist group, even they are supporting such type of the thing, but they don't think that how it is going to impact the right of the people. Here you will see that across the world, we have seen that the fear-based narrative that is on the rise. And this include the trans women, immigrants, and the Muslim phobia. That yesterday we saw that day before yesterday we saw that there was the attack in the Pahalgram, and there has been so much negative type of the messaging that is going on against the, particularly against the Muslims and the Muslim identity. So there has been some of the area that has been covered today. We will discuss all these things, but here you will see that this is not confined to the India. This is going across the world and across the even in the European countries. So all this has been here discussed, that the under far right narrative, minorities are falsely shown as the threat to the majority. This is the new trend today, that yes, most of the minorities on the basis of religion or the race, that has been shown across the world as the threat to the majority in that countries. you will see that the sexual diversity is the biological, just like the neurodiversity, supported by the evidence of the diversity in the chromosomes, hormones, and the brain structure. So this type of the scientific proof we have that this is not just as the imaginary. This sexual diversity, like the LGBTQ plus type of identity, they are scientific because there is the different type of the chromosomes that is found in the different type of the identical people. Here you will see that the hormones and brain structure that is different in the these LGBTQs people, or the those who consider themselves as the trans women, as we are discussing here. And due to this feminist movement, we have seen that there has been the some of the change in the vocabulary that we were using in the past. One of the example is that for any of the head of the committees or the any of the body, we used to chairman, but now we are using the chairperson so that we can make the neutral. Otherwise, this was the man. This is the patriarchal reflection of the patriarchal mindset, that the chairman. Why not the chairwoman? There could be the chances that the women could be also this type of the body, or that they could head the any committees or any of the body. So it should be the chairperson that we have replaced. So such type of the changes in the vocabulary in our languages we have seen as a result of the feminist movement that has been discussed here. I hope this is clear to everyone. If any one of you have any doubt, you can ask your doubts, your queries on the response portal. We will try to make our conversation, our discussion more interactive. Next news that we are going to take is the terror hit India, pause Indus pact with Pakistan. So here you will see that the different decision that our Prime Minister and Cabinet has taken in the context of the attack in the Pahalgam. Okay, so here you will see that the Pahalgam is known as the Mini. You should know that the Pahalgam was a very famous tourist destination. It is being known as the mini Switzerland, and it was the Switzerland of the India. Many times it reflect more beautifully as compared to the Switzerland. Here you will see that the Indus Water Treaty, and Indus Water Treaty is from the 1960 that decide on the uh, recognition of the six branches of Indus River and the six tributaries of the Indus River. So there has been the agreement on how the India and Pakistan use the water of this Indus Treaty. That was a successful treaty, and continuously we have seen that successfully this was enforced. Different type of the challenges was there. Despite that, this was the successful. It has not seen in history of any countries that such type of the successful treaty exists and sustained despite so many ups and downs between the relation of two neighborhood. So here we will discuss this. So let's start that what was the Indus Valley Treaty, Indus Water Treaty, not the Indus Valley. India has also suspended the SAARC visa exemption scheme for the people from the Pakistan. So one of the this is also taken in the meeting. We also have brought the military advisor in the Pakistan High Commission in India, asked them to please go and leave India, and they have been declared as the person non grata, means avanchaniya vyakti, that you don't have to remain in India, you have to leave the India. And we have given them time till the 31st of, I think, 2 May or 1 May. Yeah, we have given them time to leave the India by the 1 May. So please remember this. So what is the Indus Water Treaty? This is the water distribution agreement on the river and the river Indus and its tributaries. There are 6 tributaries. Overall, 3 are given to the India for the maximization of use. 3 have been given to the Pakistan. You will see that this was brokered under the World Bank leadership, and it was under the World Bank, and mainly it was referred from the US. US referred World Bank to be brokered, and you will see that the 6 river, 3 are Ravi, Beas and Satluj, and you will see that the 3 that has been given to US, that is the Chenab, Indus and Jhelum. This is Pakistan side. 80% major use of this river is given to the Pakistan. Only 20% use has been given to the India. Means India cannot build any of the major dam. India can use only in such a manner that water is not diverted. Means we cannot make the canal, we cannot make the dam so that we can collect the water. Here you will see that the eastern side, Ravi, Vyas and Satluj, this is for the India, and 80% usage has been given to the India. Please remember all this thing. Okay. So Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, this is in the Pakistan side. This is given to the Pakistan for the major usage. I hope this is clear. You will see that the key feature of this Indus water treaty is that the Indus river system consists of the six rivers already we have discussed, Indus, Jhelum and this, and the two category, this is the Western river and the Eastern river. Eastern river, Ravi, Vyas and Satluj, this is allocated to India, and Western river that has been allocated to Pakistan. So please remember all this thing. Exclusive right has been given to the Pakistan for the Western river, and exclusive right has been given to the India for the Eastern river. You will see that these rivers are for the domestic non-consumption agriculture purpose and hydropower generation. But here you will see that the divert of their flow is not allowed. Okay, so whatever there has been given exclusively to the Pakistan, India cannot divert their flow. Okay, this is the main thing, and always Pakistan accuse India that we are diverting the water whenever we have any project that is going to make on the western flowing rivers such as Indus, Chenab and Ravi. Okay, Indus, Chenab and Ravi. So please remember all these things. Here you will see that recently we have seen that the Krishna Ganga river, Krishna Ganga project where Pakistan objected. In the case of if there is a dispute, we have the Permanent Indus Water Commission, and this tried to ensure that yes, all the implementation of the agreement is ensured they are being done in a proper manner. So Permanent Indus Commission comprised of the representative from the India and Pakistan, and here again they have been under the supervision of the World Bank. So here you will see that this ensured the implementation and functioning of the treaty. That is the major role of the World Bank. Dispute resolution, for the dispute resolution, we have the Permanent Index Commission, that is the neutral expert will be the part of that. And in the case of any such dispute, there will be the meeting and the commission will decide what will be the final decision. Here you will see that what are the challenges and controversy. The first challenge is that due to the mainly there is the enmity and there is the conflicting dispute between India and Pakistan, and all the issue like the yesterday, day before yesterday, there was the terror attack, and again we have suspended this treaty. Such type of threat is always there. Pakistan has always expressed the concern over the India's construction of the dams and hydroelectricity. As I mentioned that Kishan Ganga river project has been halted. There has been other project that has been halted by the Pakistan. You will see that the example like the Bagalihar Dam on the Chenab River and the Kishan Ganga project on the Jhelum River that is being objected from the Pakistan side. These has been the major issue that Pakistan always try to raise at the international platform or the in front of the World Bank as well. So these are the things that has been mentioned here. I hope this is clear what is the Indus Water Treaty. This is the treaty, and this is mainly for the distribution of water of major river that originate and that is flowing from the India and entering into the Pakistan. So there is always fear that due to the sharing of the water there could be the dispute, there could be the fight, there could be the battle, war. So there should be the agreement, and we have met the agreement that we have divided three rivers, and for the exclusive use, three rivers for the India and three rivers for the Pakistan. So I hope this is clear. The western side of three rivers, Indus, Jhelum and the Ravi has been given to the Chenab has been given to the Pakistan, but the Ravi, Byas and Satluj has been given to the India. I hope this is clear to the everyone. Now we will start with the next news, that is the talking mode on the US Vice President J.D. Vance visit to the India. So here already we have discussed yesterday that what are the major area that we already have taken. You should know that this is the first time in 12 years that the Vice President of US is visiting to the India. Last it was in 2013. That was the Joseph Biden was the vice president. Later he became the president. Here you will see that this Indian origin wife of the present vice president. This is a reason that this visit was largely a private, not the official. You will see that the major thing that we have discussed in this visit is the bilateral trade agreement. So what is the bilateral trade agreement? That issue on the tariff, issue on the non-tariff, also issue on the investment of the India and US, that how that will be treated if there is a dispute between the India and the US in the matter of the investment, how we will resolve, what are the courts that we will refer, all this is being discussed in the bilateral trade agreement. So you should know that what are the core point of the bilateral trade agreement. What is that? As I discussed that the tariff issue that is going across the world, this is the main focus point of this bilateral trade agreement. Also the investment from the US side, India side, how they will be treated, how the exemption will be given. In the case of the conflict on the any of the dispute, how they will be resolved, all this will be part of this agreement. Okay. Beside that, we will see that the President Trump is about to visit India to attend the Quad Summit as well as Indo-Pacific Strategy Plan. So we will see that the further clearance on the India-Pakistan or India-US issue. Okay, here you will see that the main issue from the Indian side that has been raised. The first is that we have raised the tariff issue. Already there has been the increase in the tariff by the US. Whatever the product that will be entering into the US, there will be the high taxes. That means the high tariff. The second thing that is being discussed is the immigration crackdown. We have recently seen that the US is sending the immigrants, illegal immigrants, they have arrested, they have sent. Recently we saw that the treatment of the immigrants was not as per the standard law and guideline of the international principle and the international rules. Here we have seen that the visa revocation, most of the visa revoked in the US means they have cancelled the visa or they have reduced the number of the issuance of the visa. Mostly that is impacting the Indian people and Indian citizens and Indian students. They aspire for the go into the US and the study. So they are impacting by the visa revocation by the US. So please remember all these things. You will see that the half of the student, those visa has been revoked, they are the Indians. We have seen that the most of the people who are migrated to the foreign countries, mainly to the developed world and West Asian countries, they are from the India. Okay, so here you will see that we are also on the top of the remittance receiver. I think recently we have surpassed the China. China is on the second position. India is on the first position. Here you will see that the US has raised the non-tariff barrier issue. Non-tariff barriers issue means what type of the product US can send. Beside the taxes, we have the different type of the conditions that we impose. That the quantity of the product or the commodity that should be entered into the India, what will be what type of the uh, input or what type of the phytosanitary condition will be there, like what type of the variety we are asking for. All this is the part of non-tariff barriers. Means wherever there is the non-taxation condition, means if this is not associated with the tax, but this is creating a barrier, a hindrance. For example, India if send some fruits to the EU, so EU bring the non-tariff barriers, such as they ask that Indian products should not be used in manufacturing the child labor or the women who are the child married or those women who are low paid. Such type of the condition if they are imposing, so they create the barrier, and the type of barrier is the non-tariff barriers because the taxation is not used. Okay. So here you will see that the agriculture and the dairy product where India is imposing non-tariff barriers. Also we are imposing the sensitive issue in India. Which are the sensitive issue in India? Because the agriculture and the dairy products, because a lot of our people, our population is involved in the agriculture and dairy product. If we will provide the free access of the US product and the products from the New Zealand or the Australia, our agriculture or the farmer or the dairy farmers will be not able to sustain the pressure. Here you will see that the Mr. once called India trusted partner and co-production of the US defense hardware, and they have promised that they will sell us F-35 fighter jets. So why F-35 fighter jets are very much in the news? That is important for India because this is the one of the high technology and the recent most modern technology being used into this fighter jets, and India need this because we are suffering from the hostility on our two borders. One is from the western side, Pakistan, and other is on the eastern and the northeastern side, that is the China. So hostility is very high, and that's why we need such type of the modern fighter jets. That's why we are creating the pressure on US, and so this type of the question they can ask in PCS, UPSC they can ask that F-35 is in the news, F fighter jet, and where we are from which country this fighter jet belong. They can give example of UK, France, Germany, and US. So our answer will be US. Please remember all these things. These are the area that is main discussion point between the India and US. Please remember this thing. Next thing is India witnessing judicial despotism? That is being discussed. This is continuously in the news after judgment from the judiciary in the case of what will be the power and situation of governor and president of India in case of if there is the bill that is sent from the our legislative state legislative assembly to the governor, or this has been this has been kept for the consideration of the president. So what will be their role? So here you will see that the different section of the our society as well as the three branches of the government. Basically, it is the executive and the legislative branch of the government. They are criticizing the judiciary that they are being projecting themselves as the super parliament. But the thing is that this judicial review power is very natural. Already we discussed in the previous session that judicial review is the very core to the Indian Constitution, and this is already provided by the Article 13. But you should remember that there is not mention of the word judicial review in our Constitution. This is being just interpreted that under Article 13, this talks about the law. Whatever the law, if this is violating the fundamental rights, that law will be declared as the null and void. So this provisions give a sense that this provision give power of the judicial review. The judicial will go through the laws. It will examine that whether this law is violating the fundamental rights or not. Whenever it's find that this is violating the fundamental rights, that will be struck down. So this is the stand. So this is very natural. This is not that the judiciary is capturing the power. For the High Court, this judicial power that is drawn from the Article 226. So one thing that I want to be you to be clear, that this judicial power is not written in the exact word that judicial review, but this is given that the judiciary can, what judiciary can? Judiciary can go through the laws, and if the judiciary find that any laws legislated by the parliament or the state legislature, judiciary can declare that this law is unconstitutional or null and void. This is the main thing. And whenever judiciary use such type of the power, that result into the judicial activism and judicial review. Okay. So judicial activism and judicial review, this is a distinct thing, but many a times judicial review can be turned into the judicial activism. Judicial activism means judiciary going out of its branch, its jurisdiction, and it is entering into the policy making, or it is going to framing the law. For example, the recent judicial review in the case of Article 200 and the assent that is withheld by the Tamil Nadu government, and the judgment of the Supreme Court that was just started at the judicial review. But it was turned into the judicial activism because judiciary give verdict that Governor has to take his decision between 1 to 3 months, and it was not written in the constitution. So this resulted into the judicial activism, and many a time this also result into the judicial overreach when the people do not start accepting that or legitimize that or start criticizing that. I hope this is clear. You will see that this locus standi and this public interest litigation concept is started by the judiciary, and this was after the emergency. We saw that during the emergency it was expected that judiciary will prevent the atrocities, excesses done by the government, but judiciary was very much act like the very much it was like the pet, very much like the it was taking a stand that was very weak against the executive. It never raised its voice against the excesses or the any violation being done by the then prime minister or the then government. So after this respond to this criticism during the emergency, Supreme Court came up with the more vigor, more power, more responsibility, and that resulted into the giving some freedom in the locus standi and public interest litigation. This standi, giving the relaxation in the locus standi, resulted into the public interest litigation. So what is the locus standi? Normal as part of the natural justice, that as per this natural justice, the person who is being violated or those person whose right has been violated or the person who has been impacted by the any of the violation of the law or the any of the injustice, that person only can go and they can ask judiciary to give the justice. For example, if someone has hit me, so it is my responsibility. I will go into the judiciary and I will request that some injustice has been done against me. Please give me justice. If the anyone going and walking here and there, they will not go on behalf of me and start requesting for the justice. It is me. I am suffering from the injustice. I will have to go. If someone has stolen my property, it is my responsibility. I will have to go and register my FIR. I will have to go into the judiciary and request that yes, some injustice has been done and please do the justice. So this is the local standi, means the person who has been impacted by the injustice or the grievance, he will go, not other person. But under locus standi, this is relaxed by the judiciary that if some person is the public minded and he is so much socially active and the person feel that some vulnerable group, some of the person who are from the weaker section or the some of the person from the marginalized section who is suffering from the some injustice, but he is unaware about the laws, rules, regulations, rights. He is not knowing that his violation is his right has been violating. For example, if a person is suffering, a poor person who is suffering from the hunger or the poverty, if there is the illiterate prisoners, some police is doing some excesses against that illiterate person or the poor person, he is not knowing that I have some way to go for the grievance redressal or go for the justice in the judiciary. But some person who is watching that, he is educated, he is the public minded, he can go into the judiciary, he can raise the voice of that person. So this is given the relaxation from the locus standi, means the person who is himself suffering is not going on the behalf of some that person, some other person is going for the redressal of grievances. I hope this is clear to the everyone. So what is the relaxation of the locus standi? Means if some public minded people who is reaching to the Supreme Court and the High Court and asking for the justice for the some other person. So this is the relaxation, and this will result into the public interest litigation. Litigation means you go with the plea, we go with the some of the cases in the judiciary and ask for the justice. This is the litigation, and it is in the behalf of the some public, not for my private interest, so it will be result into the public interest litigation, famously known as the PIL. Okay, I hope this is clear. So we have seen that such type of the activities after the emergency, and the two of the very famous judges of the Supreme Court, they initiated this and they start taking the stand. One was the Krishna Iyer, Justice Krishna Iyer, and other was the P.N. Bhagwati. Please remember two name, P.N. Bhagwati. It was the P.N. Bhagwati, P.N. Bhagwati, and Justice Krishna Iyer. Krishna Iyer. Krishna Iyer. Okay. Krishna Iyer and PM Bhagwati. They started this concept of the PIL, and this resulted into the activism, over-activism, many a times known as the over-activism by the Supreme Court. So here you will see that this was being on the basis, the main article that was made the base for this was the Article 142. Already we have discussed Article 142 that talks about the Supreme Court declare its order, declare its decree, declare its judgment, verdict on the to do complete justice of any area and anything that is being done into the society. So here you will see that the locus standi relaxed that resulted into the PIL, public interest litigation. Many of the example of such PIL we have seen that in the Bihar, Bhagalpur area, there was the police who blinded the prisoners, and due to the ego tussle, there was the misuse of the power of the police, and that resulted into the that was sent to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court take the stone decision against this injustice. It was the police was suspended. So this was under the power of Article 142. And here you will see that recently we have seen that our Vice President, he has said that the Supreme Court has become the nuclear missile, and this nuclear missile, this Article 142 is the base for this nuclear missile. Here you have seen that the many of the positive impact of the judicial activism. We have seen that there was the judgment on the mob lynching from the Supreme Court. Babri Masjid demolition was there. Supreme Court have some positive guideline direction for the government. Irretrievable breakdown of the marriage was one of the issue where Supreme Court brought with the some of the provision and the guideline. The famous case of the Vishakha guideline against the exploitation of women, particularly the sexual exploitation of women on the public workplace. You will see that there has been the democracy and the debate on the role of the judiciary and the role of the parliament, role of the executive, and this is not new. Even the opposition is taking a stand in the support of the judiciary, but opposition should also remember that this tussle, this conflict between judiciary and the parliament was started from the very first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. And at the very initial stage, in 1949, in September 1949, he made a comment that if the judges will start opposing the laws made by the parliament, so parliament start appointing those judges who are favorite to parliament or the leaders or the executive or the government. Such type of view was criticized later that it will violate, it will against the independence of the judiciary. It will not make the judiciary independent. Here you will see that this type of the judgment from the judiciary was at that time it was against the land reform and the right to property. Many a times government started framing the law for the land reform. Judiciary started declaring these laws as a violative to the constitution and the null and void, and that time Nehru made the statement that the judiciary should not work in such a manner that they start against the government policy. So this is not new. Here you will see that the Nehru stated that the no judge of the Supreme Court can act in the third chamber or override sovereign will of the parliament. So Nehru was thinking that there is the supremacy of the parliament, and this was opposed, and this was not the case. Okay, you will see that the scholars largely support the judicial review. This is very much important to bring the check and balance. And this in the matter of the federalism, legislative procedure, and fundamental rights. So there should be the limitation of the judicial review, and judicial review should not be the here and there. And this is the case that the judiciary is not using the Judicial review in every cases. We have seen very scarce, very limited use of the judicial review. Recently, we saw that the many of the decision of the government policies such as the Waqf Act, the judiciary has yet not brought the stay order. There was many other cases where, for example, there was a declaration of monetization where a lot of plea was there, but the judiciary didn't interrupt in that. We have seen that the respect for the judicial review should be in the area of the judicial review should be limited, and it should be in the federalism. Whenever there is the dispute between the center and state, this should be the legislative procedure. Means wherever there is some confusion in the governance, particularly arising from our constitution or the interpretation of the constitution, when judicial review should be there, and also the fundamental rights. If there is the violation of the fundamental rights, there should be that. And we have seen that against the judiciary there has been a decision. For example, Nehru said that the judiciary should not work, otherwise the executive and the government will start taking some decision that will be not good for the judiciary and the judicial independence. And we have seen that this was in her daughter, by her daughter herself, and she started superseding the judges, and it's done by the twice. One was the case of A.N. Ray, was superseded three senior most judges, and he was declared and he was appointed as the Chief Justice of India. Same was the P.N. Baig, he was superseded, and there was the opposition from those senior most judges, they resigned. So here you will see that the court must speak out against the misgovernance or its fail to constitutional duty. This is the main duty of the judiciary. So there should be the stand, judiciary should stand, but it should be very sparse and in a very much specific cases. We have seen that some of the judicial review and some of the judiciary where the government policy was impacted in the recent last 10 years. One of the famous judgment was the electoral bond, where the judiciary declared this electoral bond as the illegal, non-constitutional. NJAC was there when the appointment of the judges, it was being brought by the National Judicial Appointment Commission. It was declared null and void. President's rule in Arunachal Pradesh, that was declared unconstitutional. So we have seen many of the cases, but these were the very reasonable cases. There was the demand from the judiciary that they should took some stand, and that's why judiciary took the stand. So here in the last, this article talking about the need for the fair criticism. It should not be blind criticism of judiciary. So here you will see that all three organs of the government must operate within the constitutional boundary, and it should not that the executive start criticizing the judiciary in unreasonable manner. A governor refusing to sign a valid bill, and if judiciary is giving some judgment on this, this is valid. This is constitutional. This is not that the judiciary is going out of its jurisdiction or out of its main limitation. So here you will see that the Supreme Court in 1998 clarified that the Article 142nd powers are curative, not the substantive law. So here you will see that whenever there is some injustice, and if we need to correct that injustice, so we use Article 142. So here already Supreme Court has taken its own stand on Article 142. You should be clear on this. I hope this is there. Here some of the judgment, some of the stand of famous judges of Supreme Court has been given. Justice Krishna Iyer, already I brought the name that he was the main instrumental in bringing the judicial review and PIL locus standi in our judicial system of India. Here you will see that he observed that the legal power must stay within the reasonable limit. And yes, this judgment on the governor and president is within the judicial limit. And here you will see that even president assent under Article 254 is not automatic. It is constitutional act and open to the judicial review. So already we have discussed 254 that whenever there is the legislation by the state, and this is on the concurrent list, and in many way if there are already parliamentary law and this violate and inconsistence with that law, so that will be that will be declared void, and the parliamentary law will supersede. Okay, so these are the things that already we have discussed. Now, next news that we are going to cover is the World Bank lowered India's growth forecast for 2025-26 to 6.3%. It was previously 6.7%. One thing you should know that what is the World Bank? Basics of the World Bank. So this is the global financial institution. What is the word? This is the global financial institution, means it provides the finances. Who will finance? Means you have money, and if someone is doing something, you say that yes, I will give you money, do the work, and I will support you. So this is the role of World Bank whenever a country is starting some project, and this is for the upliftment of the weaker section. So it will be the World Bank who will provide the money to the government of that country. But if you will go through the history of the World Bank, it was started in the context of the World War II. So after World War II, most of the countries of the Europe, they have destroyed each other. There was the dire need for the support to again bring the Europe into its previous condition, previous stage, and in that context, with help of the US, we establish the World Bank. So the main work of the World Bank at that particular time was the refinance the development or the reconstruction project of the Europe and the Japan. So please remember, so this provide the loans and the grants. Loans means you will have to return and you have to pay interest rate. Grants means it is like the assistance and the help. You don't have to give back to this money, and this is the free of cost, no interest, no need to return back. So here the main aim is the economic development, poverty reduction, and infrastructure improvement. At the initial stage, it was in infrastructure improvement of Europe. Later, it was shifted to the economic development and the poverty reduction. We will see that the many of the project in India is being funded by the World Bank. So what is the World Bank? World Bank, you will go, there is the group of the bodies, 5 bodies that consist and make the World Bank group. So what are the 5 bodies? The first you should remember is the International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. Second is the International Development Association. This is the main core of the World Bank. Further, 3 more institute that is part of the World Bank. Okay, so here you will find the 3 other, that is the International Bank for the Reconstruction Development and International Development Assistance IDA. Beside that, you will have the International Finance Cooperation. And what is their mandate? To promote the private sector development. You will have also the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, that whenever there is the investment in the foreign countries, how there will be the insurance that this type of the investment are the safe, they are out of the risk. This is ensured by the MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. MIGA is also part of the World Bank Group. And International Center for the Settlement of Investment Dispute. So whenever there is the investment dispute of one countries or the one company that is based on the one countries as their investment in the other countries. So here it is the ICCID will be playing the part to facilitate the arbitration and settlement. He will provide the platform where those countries and those companies will resettle their dispute. Okay. So historical background, you will see that it was in the context of the World War II. In 1994, there was the Bretton Woods Conference, and here you will see that the formation of World Bank simultaneously with the International Monetary Fund. International Monetary Fund, this is for the financial stability of the currencies of the world or the financial stability across the world. So like the RBI is the main role of the financial stability. Same is seen into the IMF as well. And the World Bank is like the Niti Aayog or the previously Finance Commission that will be financing the development. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. What is the World Bank? How many body are there in the World Bank? There was the 5 body. We have seen that this was the MIGA, this was the International Center for the Settlement and Investment, International Center for the Settlement and Investment. Please remember all these things. MEGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, and International Finance Corporation (IFC). All are the part, and the main body that consists the World Bank. There is the two thing, and one body is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and second in the International Development Association. This is the core of the World Bank. Next news that we will shift is the GS paper 3. The first news that we will take is that Indian Meteorological Department IMD issues heat wave alert for the Telangana district. We will see that across the India this is coming. And here we will see that the record temperature of many of the part of the state has been exceed 44 degrees centigrade. So you will see that what is the main definition of the heat wave. So the basics of the heat wave is that whenever there is a consistent and consecutive days, and generally it is considered for the 5 consecutive days, and during these days the daily maximum temperature exceeds the average maximum temperature by 5 degrees centigrade or the more. Means think that this is Gorakhpur. In the Gorakhpur, the normal temperature in the today it is 24th of April. So if we will take the 30 years of the previous 30 years, and on the 24th April, the normal temperature of the Gorakhpur was 32 degrees centigrade. So this is the 30 years average. Now in Gorakhpur, the temperature today become 40 degrees centigrade, 24th April, and it is consistently remain 40, 42, 41 for the next 5 days. So it is exceeding its average to 32 degrees centigrade for 5 degrees centigrade. So in Gorakhpur, it will be considered as the heat wave is now the condition of heat wave is prevalent in the Gorakhpur. So this is the thing, this definition is being defined by the World Meteorological Organization. This is the specialized body of the United Nations. So please remember this thing. Okay, so this is the definition. If you will if you will consider the India, in the India, this definition change with the countries. Heat wave is declared in India when the temperature is 40 degree or more, or in the hilly region it is the 30 degree. So if consistently there is the temperature that is exceeding 40 degree, like if in the Telangana we saw that it is the 44 degree, that's why it has been declared as the heat wave condition. Different countries, as per their situation and location on the latitude, we define this heat wave differently. Indian astronomers throw light on the curious case of missing dark matter. Already we saw that what is the dark matter, that there in the globe we have seen that the only 5% of the whatever we see, this room, this walls, this moon, the earth or the sun, they are just consists 5% of the total mass of the universe. Remaining 95% we don't know. In this, the remaining part are constituent by the dark energy or the dark matter. So the dark matter is that mass that is missing. We are not able to recognize, or we are not able to know that what is the type of the thing that is filling this remaining area. So one part is the dark matter and other is the dark energy. Dark energy is defined that as per the observation of the universe, we have find that the universe is expanding, but we don't know what are the force, what is the energy that is causing expansion of the universe. So what we give the definition of the dark energy, that this is the dark energy that is causing the expansion of the universe. So this is very simple definition, that what is the dark energy and the dark matter. So we have seen many of the galaxy where the missing such type of the dark matter is missing. So these are the things that is part of the research. Just you have to know what is the concept of the dark matter and the dark energy. Here you will see that the grounded Dhruv helicopter resumed flying in Anantnag. Now in the context of the recently we saw that there has been the terror attack, and we have started our indigenous advanced light helicopter. The name is the Dhruv. So please remember, we have developed Dhruv. Okay. THRUV, Dhruv. Okay. So India had developed its indigenous advanced light helicopter in the case of any emergency need of the military. We use this Dhruv helicopter. So please remember, in the hilly area, this is very much functional and operational. So these are the things that we have covered from the today's news. Remaining thing, please cover by yourself. Most of the area we have covered. So here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best, Jai Hind. And in the case of if you are planning to join the classes for the foundation class in the Gorakhpur or the Purvanchal, we are providing a very high standard of the training for the UPSC preparation and UPPCS preparation in Patriotic IS. The location is in Gorakhpur and it is near the this Padlegan Choraha. You must be visiting this Nauka Vihar in Gorakhpur. So this is very close to the main gate of the Nauka Vihar. It is near about 800 meters away. And this area is full of the hostels and this is safe for the women as well. So if you are concerned that what will be the safety, so this is nearby the university area and there are a lot of hostel with a good facility you can find here. And the quality of education you can judge, you can go through our demo classes. This is the current affairs class. You can also refer our classes on the economics by the Divyan sir. You can also refer our classes of modern history by the Anjali ma'am, our classes of geography by uh, Aditya Vajpayee sir and also by Durganath sir. So all the faculty, they are well experienced and they have lot of experience not only of the teaching but also appearing in the UPSC prelims, mains and interview. So these are all the things that you should be knowing, and yes, here we will conclude the session. Thank you again. All the best. Jai Hind.